So in a previous video, I was investigating how you could do your own mask extract using the built-in functions and not the add-on sculpt tools for Blender. Also, the sculpt tool doesn't seem to be working in 2.8 as of yet. I'm sure there's some other ones that you could maybe buy, but I wouldn't want to buy any. The previous YouTube video was dealing with how you could make sort of pop out parts of an object and pull in parts of an object to subtract out of a copy of an object, leaving the mask. But I found a really an easier way to do it, having to do with just selecting the faces of the mask and just deleting everything but those faces is sort of a probably easier way than previously. Anyway, so here we have an object. So what we'll do is we'll copy the object, paste the object. I'll go over to the copy. We'll make sure that rotation scale is applied for a uniform remesh. We'll remesh. I'm going to turn off, or okay, we'll go into wireframe mode. So this would be the, we'll go into smooth, remesh. So these, you need a lot of little vertices for this. So that looks pretty good. We'll say Octave 7. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn off visibility of the other one because it's kind of like in the way and it's creating this weird interference. So then we go into sculpt mode here, and we want to make sure that the brush is front faces only, so you don't do the back faces by accident. I don't know how that works. Maybe it's really thin. We go to the mask mode, and we also go to disable symmetry X because we're not working on a figure. So then we're starting to draw on something that will turn into veins, I guess, here. So I'm drawing those on. Okay, so now we have some veins. So what we'll do here is you need to invert the mask, right? Then we need to go to hide or hide mask. Yes, hide mask. Now we have all these. So when we go in here to edit mode and make sure that we're in wireframe, so when we select, we'll select everything, right? Then we go back into sculpt mode, and then we show everything. We show all. We go back into edit mode, and then you select the invert, and then we just delete all vertices. Now at this point, I'm going to extrude, and at this point you would think the normals are the wrong way, but let's just turn on the normals here. Okay, so we see here this is normal. So if I'm going to make a new layer which is out further, the normals would be pointing to the inside of the object, not the outside. But it turns out that Blender seems to have figured that out for you. So what you do here is you just go to, we'll select all here. We'll go to face, extrude along normals. And so you've now extruded along the normal. And you see it's now reversed to normal. So the normal is going the other way. So it figured out that, by virtue of this extraction and making a solid object, that the normals were the wrong way. So go back into object mode here, and we can toggle visibility of the original object, and we'll do that. So now we have, let's say I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make a new material and make it red. Okay, so let's go into material view. Okay, so there we go. Now we have two objects, and the second object is this thing that came out of the process of the mask extract process. And let's say that it looks a little rough, so it probably has a lot of detail. Like even if I go here, it has the geometry of the original, so that's pretty good. So we're not gonna, we could go back and remesh it as a more fine geometry, but I think that's pretty good. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go into modify, go into smooth, and I can say repeat, say 30 times, or maybe less times. That was pretty hefty. Let's say 10 times. Okay, so now we have sort of a smoothed out version of the same thing around the original object that came from drawing a mask on it. Also, the last time I was talking about making parts of an object bigger or smaller to do a boolean with a copy of the object. And I was using the extrude along normals. What you probably really want to do is you want to use the move faces along normals, which is Alt S. And I don't think there's an option, there's anywhere in there that you can't just use the keys to do it. But what that'll do is it'll move the outer layer so that doesn't create like another set of faces on top of the faces. So it gets confused. It also gets confused with what it considers a solid object, I believe, when you start hiding things using the mask.